But to then use your lack of entertainment to put together this group where you judge what other people should be listening to, whether comedy has gone too far. Who are you to judge what comedy goes too far? You're bored parents. You're bored. You forgot what a good time is. This show is for people that enjoy having good times, who understand what fun is, and who remember what it was like to have fun. There are plenty of parents that listen to this program, have a great time with it, still go out and have fun.
Oh, there's a million parents calling us, by the way.
They're not in these groups of other dull people with no lives trying to decide what's good for humanity. Please, get your group together, get in a closed room, and pop a canister of Zyklon B and die.
Well, get out of the basement of the church and take your kid to a ball game or to the park or something.
Yeah.
You're wasting too much time. Go raise your kid and leave us out of it.
Disgust me.
I realize that you are attempting to make a humorous program for young adults, but your show goes too far.
In whose opinion?
A bunch of idiots. This is brought up all the time. We have young listeners. We know that. But we also have a lot of older listeners.
Yeah.
But a lot of people like to just blow that up. No, that program's just for a bunch of teenage boys.
Yeah.
It's not true. You could perhaps learn from the example of other radio personalities who are considered controversial. Such as Don Imus.
Don Imus. What year are you living in, Brent?
Or someone, a show we know very well because Anthony's ex-mother-in-law loves
Lon and Wally
right.
up in Massachusetts. I love Lon and Wally. They are so much fun.
I used to have to when I'd have to pick my wife up because she would go to the mother's house. Ex-wife. It's over. At the time, that's what I'm talking about. At the time, I had to pick up.
You're going back to the future.
I'm back to the future.
Hey, listen. So let me read the line before you go on, because this tangent will go on for 15 minutes, knowing you. You can perhaps learn from the example of other radio personalities who are considered controversial, such as Don Imus or Lauren and Wally.
Hold on.
Who use? God, why isn't Jim here?
I know.
Write this down for when we talk to Jim. Who use?
I love this word.
Madcap humor, but use it intelligently.
Madcap. That's some madcap humor.
Thank God we don't do madcap humor. The day we do madcap humor is the day I put a bullet in the back of my skull.
Madcap humor. When was the last time you heard, oh, that's some madcap humor?
I don't know.
That is madcap.
I think that's a word right out of the vaudeville days.
Vaudeville. You know, when I used to go and watch vaudeville shows, it was madcap humor.
Madcap humor. Oh, go ahead. So, Lon and Wally.
Lon and Wally, me and Opie would be doing our radio show and doing the best we can, trying our hardest to come up with something a little different and fun and something that'll catch people's attention on a daily basis. And I would go to pick up the at the time wife at the mother-in-law's house, and I'd hear,
"You should have heard Lon and Wally today. They were so funny. What they were doing this very funny thing where men called in to answer questions that only women are supposed to know the answers to."
And I'd be like, that's great.
Yeah. That's Battle of the Sexes. The oldest radio bit in America.
There it is, trying to eke out an existence in this medium, and I just have to hear endlessly about
how funny are Lon and Wally.
Speaking of influencing their listeners, Lon and Wally made your ex-mother-in-law a drunk.
What? What are you saying, Opie?
Well, she liked the box of wine, Ed.
Box of wine?
I noticed she started drinking more boxes of wine, after she started listening to that program.
Maybe that's what makes Lauren and Wally funny. Right. You got to be drinking boxes of wine.
All right, so then...
sometimes I would even take longer to drive home. I wouldn't even make right turns. No lefts, no rights. I'd drive straight and listen to Lon and Wally.
I understand that you are trying to make a living in a difficult business, but think of the effects you are having on children today.
None on us.
None on us. We're
Don't
artists.
care.
We're artists.
Don't care.
Brent, we're artists. Incidents such as the Columbine, this is the stupidest argument, and they bring it up all the time.
For some reason, we're everyone, us, Marilyn Manson, everyone responsible for Columbine, except for who's really responsible. They're lousy, crappy parents who weren't listening to their children talk, weren't listening even at the last minute to their children building bombs in their garage. But no, it's radio like we do. It's music media. Like Marilyn Manson.
Take away the violent video games and the music and the cool programs that we get to see on TV and the movies, and I guarantee there will be a ton of Columbines.
Brent, I can only hope, Brent, your children grow up to grab a gun and shoot up their friggin' school to prove what a lousy parent you are. Because that's what people do. You know what, Brent? Let me explain something to you. People don't look at a situation like Columbine. Normal people don't look at a situation like that and blame the media and blame music and radio. They don't do that. You do because you're insane with your stupid group. People look at the parents. They watch the crying parents on TV and go, there's the asswipe, useless loser responsible for the monsters that shot up their school. Not the media. So I can only dream that it happens to you so we can look at your stupid crying face on television. Because no normal person blames the media. You're a minority in this.
So, incidents such as the Columbine murders should prove why people like yourselves must rethink their views or risk more tragedy.
No.
Imagine, if you will.
Okay, let me imagine. I'll put on my Imagine hat.
One of your young listeners performing the same violent acts on women you profess to find funny.
Well, let me imagine that. Hold on. I got to do something first. Okay, let me start imagining.
I guess going back to the 55-gallon drum challenge.
Yeah.
Where the girls volunteer to do this.
Right.
If there are girls out there that want to volunteer to kind of get, a bunch of stuff dumped on them by their friends in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
What's that hurting?
If you have somebody that listens to this show and does the exact same thing we do on this show, there's no problem. You have a guy and a girl, and the guy goes, hey, baby, you want to get in this drum? I'll seal up the top, and I'll throw crap on you all night. And the girl goes, that sounds like a blast. You know what? There's no problem with that. You make it sound like we ran out on the streets, apprehended some girls, kicking and screaming, threw them in a barrel, and dumped stuff on them.
Well, there was one.
There was one.
We had an extra barrel.
All right, most of the girls we got.
That should end up winning the contest.
I know.
Sorry. It would be a tragic wake-up call for both of you.
Yeah.
And I hope you will remember the next time you turn on a microphone that you are affecting an impressionable audience.
Wrong. None on us.
Thank you for your time, and I hope you learn from this letter.
Yes.
Brent.
I'm learning. Thank you for educating me, Brent. Go back to your useless parent group. Didn't need a group.
Comedy Gone Too Far is their next discussion.
Comedy Gone Too Far. Okay, Brent, look, we bashed you pretty bad here, and, if I have to apologize in order to get your feelings on Comedy Gone Too Far, I will, just so I can get that. Please, Brent, stay in touch and send us your whole group's opinion on Comedy Gone Too Far.
Yeah,
because now I want to know. Comedy Gone Too Far.
All right, Paul Mercurio in the studio.
Yes.
Hello.
And some
Emmy Award winning.
And some girls outside.
Thank you very much.
I don't know what they want to do.
Can I send a message to Brent?
Yes.
Kiss my ass?
Yes.
Because while he was writing that letter, he should have been spending time with his kid.
Right.
Instead, he's writing the letter because he's not, he's teabagging his sister's. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, seriously, this guy's got no leg to stand on.
They're groups. They get together in groups so they can discuss the things that are better for people than you realize. Like, you can't make a decision for yourself, or no one else can. They need people like Brent and their little groups to tell us how we should lead our lives. Thank God for them.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just waiting for Dice to call.
Imagine a group, like they get together in a group, and a tractor trailer just veers off the road and slams into the living room that they're in, and their stupid little like appetizers and whatnot that the wife at the house that it's at just go flying all over.
Little hot dogs rolled in pastry.
Oh, some Kraft mac and cheese in a big bowl is out there. some store brand chips and
She's
dip.
showing off her latest Tupperware acquisition.
Yeah, to all the ladies, and the men sit around and discuss things. They show pictures of their children, and hopefully the children are there playing on the floor. And then, wham! Nothing but body parts and toys. And those stupid little Franks that are on the stick. That's how I'm saying now.
Well, really, the amount to me is like it's one thing you call in and you say that, but to sit down and write the letter.
Right.
I mean, he's obviously a parent.
And think we're
and then to
care.
be so pompous, he writes at the end, I hope you learn. What is this? I hope you learn from this letter. Oh, it's a regular Encyclopedia Britannica you wrote here. I'm learning.
You know, we were morally and ethically lost until you wrote in.
Yeah.
But now you're the Lewis and Clark for us of ethics and morals.
Yeah.
You know, the reality is turn the radio off, spend time with your kids, stop teabagging your sister-in-law, and you'll be all right.
It's like I could see him sitting there going, let me write a letter. Dear John Wayne Gacy,
Right. Meanwhile, he hasn't
stop killing.
Right, he hasn't touched his wife in 5 years. I mean, he's emotionally cut off from everybody in his family. He's sitting in front of his computer with no pants on.
I'm just jacking it.